embarrassment. And kids get to build Santa's beard as they count off the days to Christmas. Get your free Countdown to Christmas poster when you buy 7-Up. 7-Up has the feeling of Christmas.
Oh, 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 the night before Christmas, an Oreo cookie's waiting for a special guest.
I'll just take a little rest.
Ho, 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 who's that kid with the Oreo cookies? Eating all the luscious chocolate, licking all the creamy middles, dunking all the crunchy cookies like he did when he was little. It's so hard to hide the kid inside with Christmas and O-R-E-O. Bisco.
Saturday on The Facts of Life, Blair's lost touch with reality.
You're kidding.
Can the girls break her out of hiding?
We're going in.
Then on 227,
Hello, man in uniform.
will Sandra take off with a hotshot pilot?
He knows your guys are friendly.
Come home Saturday.
Hi, Alf here. Me and my pal Brian are hosting all your favorite NBC shows this Saturday morning. It's going to be out of this world.
Announcing the Big Orange Taste of Tang drawing contest from Tang Breakfast Beverage Crystals. Just draw what that Big Orange Taste of Tang looks like to you. And you could be a star. Just send your drawing and a Tang label to Tang P.O. Box 4960, Kankakee, Illinois. If you win, you and your drawing go on a Tang commercial. So get ready. The Big Taste of Tang could make you a big star.
Four batteries not included.
Hi, my name is Teddy Ruxpin. Can you and I be friends? I really...
Everybody out.
Then, one day, we found an old treasure map.
Teddy Ruxpin comes with illustrated book and cassette from Worlds of Wonder.
Hear anything? Negative.
Sunkist searches high and low for fun fruit trees. The only trees funny enough to grow Sunkist fun fruits.
I found them!
Sunkist fun fruits are made with only the funniest fruits. That's why fun fruits are so much fun to eat. Sunkist fun fruits. Every chewy one is real fruity fun.
Twix puts the dig in your gig. It puts the boom into your beat.
Puts the rhythm in your feet.
Keeps you rocking along. Puts the soul into your song.
Keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on moving with Twix.
Chocolate caramel satisfaction. Like crispy cookie gets you back in the action.
Nothing two sticks of Twix can't fix.
Foot slip, smack, back in your rap. Keep on, keep on, keep on moving with Twix.
Cookie Crisp, you do anything to get the real cookie taste of Cookie Crisp cereal. I know. It even looks like those chocolate chip cookies, but it stays crispy and milk, and it's part of this complete breakfast.
If you like cookies, you'll love Cookie Crisp.
And if you like bubble gum, you'll love Bubblicious Korean Cookie Crisp. It's the ultimate bubble in strawberry, raspberry, and new chocolate mint. You can try all 3 flavors. There's 1 pack free in Cookie Crisp cereal.
The Uh-Oh kids cook up some fun. Here come the SpaghettiOs! Uh-oh. And everybody's up. Uh-oh. Those fun-to-eat SpaghettiOs.
You forgot.
What tasty little O's. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh gosh, you sure know your O's.
Uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs.
Don't pout, check it out. Zach's gonna show you what work's about.
Listen up, children, if you wanna know what tomorrow will bring and where you will go. Gotta find your dreams and goals. Time to pick your schemes and roles. Make a choice, Jack. Can't lie on your back all day. No way, no way, no way. Make a choice, yeah. Can't lie on the hill all day. No way, no way, no way. You both can make choices about a career in any old field without any fear. You can be what you want. It becomes very clear when you believe in yourself and take time to prepare.
Let's think about a career. We can both be an engineer or learn about the atmosphere.
Oh, hit the road, Zach. They've got the knack. It's clear they're on the right track to a career.
Nothing like rooting for our favorite team and eating Bonker's chewy candy. Now I'm eating chewy chocolate Bonkers. Rich chocolate outside, dark fudge inside. But it's still Bonkers, so I'm ready. Ha!
Chewy chocolate Bonkers, punctual.
The Great Basketball Playoff starring Ronald McDonald.
And those chicken McNuggets.
And Ronald makes the first basket. Now the McNuggets make a basket. The score's all tied up and the crowd's going wild. Ronald moves in for a dunk.
Barbecue sauce, McDonald's barbecue sauce here.
And the McNuggets go for a dunk.
And you didn't even dribble.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
My Super Golden Crisp cereal is the life of this nutritious breakfast.
Can't believe there's 8 vitamins hiding in that sweet, crispy wheat.
Well, Frankie the Finn and my old pal Sharky. What's up, fellas?
Your time, Sugar Bear. We're cruising for a crunch.
How about a vitamin-packed punch?
Let's get it.
Pass it right to the coast. Thanks for the lift, boys. Can't get enough Super Golden Crisp. It's got crunch with punch.
Don't let the game of life beat you. Get the facts on the many ways to prevent unintended pregnancies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists wants you to have the facts. For your free facts booklet, call 1-800-INTENDS. 1-800-INTENDS.
We belong together. Watch Three's Company weekdays at 4.
In the pool if you're cool. A is for apple. J is for Jack. Yay! Apple sweet, Apple Jack. Cinnamon crunchy. Fun to eat. Yeah! Definitely good. Breakfast treat.
Real apple makes Kellogg's Apple Jacks the appley sweet part of his complete breakfast.
Make apple splash every bite. Fun to eat and appley sweet. Kellogg's Apple Jacks.
The Legoland Alien Moonstalker. You can walk the stalker through craters full of rocks, then build a galactic ship, just like on the box. There's a base to track comets, a rig for mining ore, one for exploring planets where we've never been before. When you're reaching for the stars, there's always something new. Awesome space creations from Legoland and you. You can collect 19 space sets, each sold separately. The Alien Moonstalker is part of the Legoland Space Collection and has hundreds of bricks for building from Lego Systems.
I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, please, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what?
adults.
What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay. Next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip flops. These are my flip flops. Yeah, I really like my flip flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said, and I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl, like
that is the best shit fucking
shopping for the dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the feet.
Shout out to Cherry for just being easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. Woo! Good morning, good afternoon, people. It's good to see you guys. Happy Tuesday. Happy Cherry Cheese Day, National Cherry Cheese Day. It's National Cherry Cheese Day, y'all. I have proclaimed it. I have declared it. And it is. I won't remember it next year. It's good to see you guys. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even think this hearing's really gonna be much of anything. I just, just in case, we'll go ahead and take a look. If someone's streaming it, I don't even have a guarantee that it's even going to be streamed. So I mean, because it's really kind of ridiculous. Like the Boston Globe's attorneys filed a motion to unrelease or to unimpound the findings of the federal investigation. And the only purpose that I could see that serving is so that the Boston Globe can write a story. They want access. And I wonder, here's the thing is I think if Judge Bev, the Boston Globe is streaming it. Okay. If thank you. If Judge Bev approves this, then we're gonna have a lot to talk about. If she denies this, then as usual, we'll just have to continue to sorry. Cherry distracted me. We'll have to just wait and see till trial, like we have been. So in the meantime, like I said, we'll just see what happens. I just don't see what kind of pull the Boston Globe is going to have in filing this motion just so they can write a story. And I'm sure that writing this puff piece, this fluff job to spin a narrative that is in favor of Judge Bev's decisions, that is in lieu of Judge Bev's decisions, where Judge Bev is making all these decisions that are that seem to be favoring the prosecution, at least the way that she's been going. So I wonder if the Boston Globe wrote this piece where it implied that the protesters were being so disruptive and abusive towards John O'Keefe's family, and then masking their agenda with interviews with John O'Keefe's loved ones, which pisses me off because it was nice to hear from John O'Keefe's loved ones. I had not heard from any of them in all of this madness, and it was nice to hear their thoughts on all of this. But the thing is I call bullshit on the Boston Globe's agenda and why they did it, because I don't think that the timing is coincidental. I can't exactly pinpoint as to why that article came out just before this hearing, but it came out pretty right after they filed the motion. So I don't think that this is a coincidence. So we'll see. Now, you know, I in the meantime, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna check out Boston Globe. Let's drop in on our ground correspondent. Not really, just I like to see what's going on with the protesters, because that's a big deal. This is the first time there was a hearing since Judge Bev jacked everybody of their First Amendment rights. So, right, Benjamin John, that's what I'm saying. It can't be a fucking coincidence. You know, stupid do they think we are? But yeah, let's check this out. Let's see.
Given priority access to those doors, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Tom, that's her opinion.
I have it on film.
Tom, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's her opinion. We've taken care of her. She's been in the building every time.
That it's not about entering the building. It's about the manner of entering.
Claire, at this point you want.
All right.
He wants to see who's out here.
Huh?
Claire wants to see who's out here.
They own they own the place. Optics. That's.
I have to see what he's talking about.
I think.
Like, I got to see what just happened here.
I got a question. Why do we So why does this side have to wait to go into the courtroom when other side can just walk up and walk right in and unencumbered anyway? Why is that?
Right now, it's just a public safety.
We're talking about now. I'm talking about every time
Thank you,
prior
Cherry.
to today that we've tried to go into those doors. We've had to wait for at least 17 minutes, if not longer on some occasions, to get in them doors. Whereas other people, free pass.
There is no
what
player.
is that? Why?
Just simply public safety, that's all.
How is it public
We
safety?
have to bring each group in separately,
Okay.
get them seated, and then we bring the public in.
You have more people here that you want to be safe for more people or less?
So, what are you talking about today?
Why are you not choosing to be having these people to be safe? This is public safety on this side as much as it's public safety walking up these stairs.
It's your opinion. We differ on that, but that's okay.
It's-
That's your opinion.
You get older people out here waiting in the freezing cold in the rain, and you get people that just walk right in.
I love Tom, and I love him standing up for what's clearly right. But at the same time, like, I feel like what Tom is doing right now is the equivalent to complaining to the movie theater attendant the prices of popcorn. I mean, they don't have that. That's, you know what I mean? They're just doing what they're told to do. It's just a job. This guy's not, he doesn't make the rules. And he's right. It's just that, you know, he's just wasting his energy, in my opinion. I don't want him to get in trouble for no reason.
Yeah, and I'm like they own the place.
Yeah, but no one
Optics
walks right
are.
in without us.
Optics are. They own this place. They're allowed free pass right in every single
You and I
time.
both know that's not true.
No, I have it on video.
Nobody walks right in.
That's not true. That's
So who
because
just-
they get to enter first. Unbecoming.
Who just walked in? Was it like the McCabe's? Is that what he's talking about? Let's see. I was on the motion last week and stood in the rain while the McAlberts were let right in. Yeah. I mean, what the fuck? Like I said, I mean, dude, all that does is just enforce what I was thinking before. And what I was thinking before is that the McAlberts are just using the O'Keefes they're wearing them. That's what the McAlberts are doing. They're wearing the O'Keefes like accessories, like jewelry, like a fucking press pass, you know, around their neck. Like, oh, look who I'm with, you know. Okay, I did, Jerry. What am I checking again for? I got it. I know. Thank you. Let's see. Dana says, we voiced our concern to the head court officer last week and he did nothing. They don't care. Tom's point today is others are waiting for, and the McAlberts are already inside. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying is like, dude, that's not the court officers, though. You don't think that they're following orders? Those people aren't just on a whim being like, oh, you could go right in. You know, it's not like that. You know what I mean? They're not bouncers at a club going, oh, yeah, we don't have enough big titty girls in the club. So you could, no, that's not what's going on here. What's going on here is that they have orders from somebody higher than them that's saying, if these people try to come in, you let them right in. Anybody else, tell them to fuck off. That's what's going on. That's what's clearly going on.
Incumbent every single
With an
time.
escort plus.
Absolutely, I understand that.
Well, that's important to know.
Okay, so add that part.
The people who were
Asterisk.
named, the people who were named in that motion last week as parties,
Interested parties.
interested parties, were led in last, but the Karen Reed group was led. I mean,
McAlbert group
McAlbert's were let in first.
every single time prior.
But a named party was excluded and left in the cold. Did you know that?
A named party.
Named party last time. In the motion.
We're trying to inform you, bud, so that next time it doesn't happen.
Okay,
And this
Cherry.
person-
Okay,
I'm not
Cherry.
a real person.
Hold on a
The
second.
chief is aware, he doesn't miss anything.
Can I ask another question? The next time, you know the lady that comes on our side with the wheelchair?
Yes.
She should be allowed, not the rest.
Well, she's always been allowed.
No, let's rephrase that. No. Rephrase it. The lady who comes here in the wheelchair should get priority above anybody with 2 feet walking in.
I mean, he's not wrong about that. Like, why are you letting in the McAlberts before you let in handicapped people? The fuck is that? Like, what do you expect us to think? Seriously, like, what do you expect us to think when you're letting in the McAlberts over handicapped people? That makes no fucking sense. Like, you expect us to not think that there's favoritism being implemented here when you're not letting in people with physical disabilities? Really? Okay. Jesus. Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. Let me I got to refresh. Okay, so there's nothing going on here yet. Let me do this. I'm going to read the article because Cherry is demanding that I do so. A hearing is scheduled for the high-profile Karen Reed murder case Tuesday, just days before the trial is scheduled to start. The hearing will be streamed in the player above. Reed is accused of, and so I have it here, so we'll see. Reed is accused of killing John O'Keefe, her Boston police officer boyfriend, in Canton, Massachusetts in 2022. Her lawyers have alleged that she was framed amid a massive cover-up, which the prosecution and people involved have denied. Reed has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder, vehicular manslaughter, while impaired and leaving the scene of an accident. During Tuesday's hearing, which is scheduled for 2 p.m., the judge will consider arguments from the Boston Globe, which has requested the court unseal a previous motion to dismiss from the defense. Reed's lawyers had attempted to have the murder case against her dismissed, but a judge ruled against that motion last month. Her attorneys had also pushed to have Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey disqualified from the case, which was also denied by the judge. The Globe's argument centers on the idea that the public has a presumptive right to access the material surrounding those motions, which were impounded. The case and the questions the defense has attempted to raise about the way the investigation has been handled have captured public attention and become a point of contention in Canton and beyond. The case has divided the town and put Canton public institutions under scrutiny as defendant supporters have railed around her and decreed what they claim is a corrupt prosecution. In a case such as this one, the transparency of the proceedings is crucial to the public's understanding and acceptance of the judicial process. The motion from the Globe reads. So the Globe is arguing that we all have a right to know what the defense is basing these claims on. Everything that the defense was claiming was grounds to dismiss the case and disqualify the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office from the case. So Boston Globe is saying we all have a right to know about this. Now, the defense wanted it sealed. They wanted it impounded. Now, I don't know how they feel about it being impounded during trial. I don't know what they want. I don't know if it lacks anything beyond what we heard. If it lacks anything beyond what we already heard in the previous hearings, or
and that's why the defense wants it impounded, or the defense is just like whatever, they wanted it impounded until the trial. Now the trial's coming up, they don't really care. I don't think they filed an opposition motion, so I don't think they really care too much. Hopefully we'll know a bit more about what the federal findings are, and if we find out shortly, if this motion gets approved, this motion filed by the Boston Globe gets approved, pretty soon we're going to have a lot to talk about, folks. So let's just see what happens. Now, like I said, I want to keep refreshing this and checking in to see. And I don't see a link on here for live. There's Karen Reed trial. All right, let's see what. Yeah, this is still nothing. So Cherry, if you could do me a favor and just keep looking. But and regardless of oh, Nicole Pierce, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Welcome. Regardless of this decision of Judge Bev to implement this 200-foot buffer zone, regardless of that, there still seems to be a pretty good turnout out there. Oh, I need to stop streaming Tom because somebody's streaming me and I can hear myself. So hold on, let me mute Tom here. So we're gonna go ahead and get to let me go ahead and share this, see what happens. I'm gonna keep refreshing it. Supposedly this little square here is going to turn into a video at some point, supposedly. So we'll play this in the meantime.
Now, we just learned this, that there will be a 200-foot buffer zone around the courthouse in Dedham. This judge making this decision just moments ago. Now, in court this morning, prosecutors argued that protesters should be kept at least 500 feet away from the courthouse. Prosecutors fear that the demonstrators will have a negative impact on the jurors. The judge also ruling that no one is allowed to wear clothing or have signs in the courthouse that support one side or the other. Reed is accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, and Karen Reed's trial is set to begin April 16th.
I mean, it's so crazy that Beverly Cannoni even entertained that motion, much less fucking ruled a 200-foot buffer zone like as if it was some sort of compromise, because it really isn't. There's no compromise on your freedom of speech. Like, sorry. I just don't believe that. Not when it comes to standing in front of a courthouse protesting peacefully. I'm on that, but it's not streaming. So maybe through Facebook they are. Let me see here. Yeah, there's like nothing live. Oh, it's just live TV, but I don't know, man. I mean, Cherry, dude, like, I don't know what to tell you. This is, let's see. Oh, just a solar eclipse on Boston 25. Hold on. Yeah, this is all there is. Boston 25 is doing this right now. Why is there no volume? Yeah, there's no volume on that video. All right. Well, I'm not going to stream Young Jerks. Like, that's not, yeah, like, that's not okay. Yeah, like, it's, hold on. Yeah, how does he have it? Okay. That doesn't make sense. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, there's nothing here. Here we go. Okay, I got it. I got it. There's no sound, though. Unless that's me. There we go. All right. We're good. We're good, people. Now, the volume's as high as it goes. It's the best I can do, guys.
grand jury secrecy clause. And the other factor I would cite here is that these materials were submitted to the court as grounds for a ruling by the court, which the court made in denying the motion to dismiss the indictment. So to that extent, it is that the materials are sort of the classic judicial document which the public has a right of access to. The last thing I'd say on this is that, again, I haven't seen what's in conflict, but the alternative argument I'd make is if there is some type of sensitive grand jury material which has not already in substance been disclosed, then an alternative available is to redact just those portions of the documents and allow the rest to be made public. So that's sort of my pitch on the grand jury issue. The other issue that seems to me is relevant is the fair trial rights, with the trial coming up and the disclosure of what is so now impounded material if it's not in substance the same as the Commonwealth's opposition. And obviously there has been a lot of publicity about this case. That's just true. But the SJC has said, and even in high-profile cases, voir dire and jury instructions can be sufficient to protect the defendant's fair trial rights. The other two things I'd say here is I think it's significant that the defendant apparently has said she takes no position. So there's less of a concern. Things I'd say here is I think it's significant that the defendant apparently has said she takes no position. So there's less of a concern about prejudice. And from a legal perspective, I'd also say this. There is, we put in our brief, case law that says a closure order and a common order should be effective at what it's trying to do. And in the fair trial context, the precedent price case we cited, in that case it was whether a pretrial defense was going to be open or not. And the trial court judge closed the hearing, finding that there was a reasonable likelihood that an open hearing would prejudice the defendant's fair trial rights. And the U.S. Supreme Court said you have to go higher than that. It has to be a substantial probability that the defendant's fair trial rights will be prejudiced, and that the closure order will be effective. And here I would say that given the publicity that this case will generate, the notion that these particularly incremental effect of releasing the motion papers on the motion to dismiss, that poses a substantial likelihood of a threat to the defendant's fair trial rights. I'd say.
Yo, what is with the sound? Like, is there wind blowing in there? What the fuck? Or an airplane.
Right. Thank you very much. Ms. McLaughlin, I don't have nothing in writing from you, but I know that you're getting ready to talk. That's fine. I'll talk to you.
Your Honor, essentially the Commonwealth takes no position on this motion. The Commonwealth receives the confidential federal materials pursuant to the sign.
The Commonwealth takes no position on this motion.
And all filings made to this court that reference or include any references to the federal investigation will need to be filed and accounted under seal. Therefore, that what the Commonwealth has done as it is a party to that protective order. Your Honor, I'm unaware if you previously filed a protective order. Your Honor has not received that. I can file that.
I have not.
Okay, then the Commonwealth will move to file the protective order pursuant to an impoundment order of this court.
Are you going to be back in on that, Mr. O'Neill?
Your Honor, within the protective order, it does reference the jurisdiction of any disputes arising out of the protective order will be before the federal court. Therefore, essentially, the Commonwealth takes no position, but is bound by the federal protective order that was endorsed by Justice.
Is that Yannetti sitting over there by himself? No, that's some other guy. There's nobody at the defense table.
I'll hear you guys jump in.
I hope if I have this right, then if there's, the Commonwealth's not, there is a distinction between documents filed with the court and documents in the custody of the Commonwealth and defendant. And I wasn't aware of Judge Castro's protective order, but typically, in my experience, the protective order says, you, the parties, cannot release this information. And this one apparently said, by the way, if you file it in court, you should file it under seal. Having it been filed in this court, however, it is this court's papers, not the federal court's papers. So I felt, well, of course, one would take into account the federal court's protective order. I would say, and I haven't read it, so I might be wrong, but I would say the protective order binds the parties, not the state.
Your Honor, the protective order indicates that not if we file it, we should impound it, that if we file, we must impound.
So that's been done.
That has been done, Your Honor.
Right. Does the Commonwealth, I would like the Commonwealth to address the concerns that we have on me releasing these state court pleadings. Are you bound by the protective order such that you can't even address that because they tell you that you have to go to federal court to address that?
The way the protective order is written indicates that if any party seeks to modify the protective order, the exclusive jurisdiction within the federal court.
So neither party is seeking to modify the protective order.
The Commonwealth has not sought to modify any protective order, nor has any party filed a motion to intervene in the federal court or seek this material from the federal court or address the motion before the federal court.
So why don't I have the authority to hear you today on the release of the state court materials that you filed, but I have referenced in my decision?
Your Honor, the Commonwealth, essentially takes no position on what your authority is and what your role in the state court is. The Commonwealth can only represent what order it is bound by.
So, Ms. McLaughlin, I want to hear you on whether or not there is a docket number 201 that the Commonwealth's grand jury minutes. What's the Commonwealth's position about me releasing those?
The grand jury minutes?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would oppose the release of any grand jury minutes prior to trial. The trial is imminent. These same witnesses who testified before the grand jury are anticipated to testify within the upcoming weeks. The release of their testimony prior to that trial, we don't want to cloud anyone's memory or anything that can be testified to. The public will have the right to all that information when witnesses didn't stand. Under Massachusetts law, the grand jury minutes are secret, and the Commonwealth would oppose any release of the materials that went before the North Fork grand jury.
So when I read Mr. Alvano's motion, I focused on the paper numbers that he cited, everything that the Commonwealth and the defendant filed under seal. You all followed your protective order that I do not have to follow. You all followed the protective order. And I considered those materials and I referenced them. They were critical of my decision. And I referenced them in the decision. So that's what I am focusing on.
If those portions, whatever, Your Honor, its findings, the public has the findings made by the court. The witnesses would testify to that, their personal knowledge shortly. So the Commonwealth has an indicated objection of release of any grand jury minutes.
Regarding the pleadings.
Regarding the pleadings, if Your Honor is inclined to release pursuant to this motion, then the Commonwealth really has to take a position on. Redactions could be made to any references of grand jury materials that, the Commonwealth takes no position on what Your Honor's authority is, but to the point that when we filed the materials, we were bound by this protective order to out of those.
They were perhaps.
Yes, so perhaps the redactions may be appropriate. It's unique circumstance.
It is unique circumstance, and I understand the position that the Commonwealth is in, and I understand the position the defendant was in. Prudently decided not to pursue anything in court, but you had no choice, you had to be here. So, Mr. Almeida, do you believe I have the authority to do with these documents that you requested what I want to do with them, right? Massachusetts law governs.
I do, Your Honor. I think, again, I'll go back and correct on that protective order, and I'd be happy to submit a supplemental filing. But as I stand here today, I don't understand how a federal court judge can tell a state court judge what to do with the state court's files.
For a case that's on for trial next week. So, I share with you. I do not have any case telling me that I have to listen to what they say I should do with this case. I'm not in a common position to ask them whether they agree with me. So, as you all know, this case is coming to trial next week. So, although the Globe recognizes the secrecy of the grand jury proceedings, it is requesting that this court unimpound 14 days of grand jury testimony on the basis that some grand jury testimony and exhibits have been disclosed in a public court filing, and therefore the interest in grand jury secrecy are overcome by the public's right of access to court records. While it's true that some grand jury testimony has been previously disclosed to the public, I can tell you because I've read them, the majority of testimony and exhibits have not. In particular, the request encompasses videos of sane interviews and testimony of witnesses not mentioned in any public filings. So although the SJC has recognized that a limited amount of disclosure of grand jury testimony may be justified when there has already been public disclosure of that information, the Globe has not directed this court to any case law suggesting that where some grand jury information has been publicly disclosed, all grand jury testimony and exhibits lose their secrecy. And that point is clearly made in a case that, the Carroll Baby Stewart case. So the Globe newspaper versus police commissioner of Boston. It's a case that plaintiff's counsel was Mr. Almeida. So, should the Globe seek grand jury testimony of a specific witness whose testimony was summarized in public court filings, the court would consider such a request. However, the only part of the witness testimony, my reading of the case law, that would be subject to disclosure is that which has been summarized in the court filing.
Ooh, she's denying it.
Prepared to release, subject to redaction. As if you don't have enough on your plate, Ms. McLaughlin, I'm going to give the Commonwealth until tomorrow morning.
Oh, come on.
Redactions. The defendant has waived any argument to this motion. So it's time to release.
Come on.
The defendant's motion to dismiss.
Oh my God.
There are attachments
Damn.
to that by way of exhibits that are with it. I am not going to release what's docket number 201, the grand jury minutes. I am not going to release the grand jury minutes. I am going to release
Just the
paper number
stuff that's already been
228, the
disclosed.
supplemental memorandum in support of defendant's motion to dismiss, though it has actually a different heading. And I'm going to release the Commonwealth supplemental memorandum in opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss, docket 232. So it doesn't give you a whole lot of time, Ms. McLaughlin, and I do know just that there were police reports attached to the motion to dismiss the Odell motion that include dates of birth and addresses of witnesses, so I will redact those. It's certainly, you're not interested in those, Mr. Albano. So I need to redact any identifying information, and what the Commonwealth might think should not be released pursuant to this order. It doesn't stop you from filing a motion to intervene in the
I
federal
think
court,
I got it.
obviously, for
I'll
anything else.
explain a little bit
All right. All right.
in a second.
Okay, can you get it to me by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So
Jim,
if
I'm
I
gonna take a
rewind it,
recess before we do our other stuff, okay? Tori, we all set? I can take my computer?
All right, please.
Goodbye.
okay. So yeah. Even if I rewind it, like I'll rewind it, but understand that it's not going to like sound better before. So basically, what I got out of this mostly was, she's going to more or less, he's going to release certain things because certain things have been made public by the defense. Certain details of grand jury testimony have been made public. So basically, she's authorizing at least some of the documents, as long as they're redacted.
Oh, good. But the rest of it is just gonna be mad. Did you have to cut that? Is that no good?
Right. Anything that pertains to the grand jury testimony that was.
Yeah, right. So I was trying to find, and then.
Oh, yeah. Listen to this guy.
Do it in the middle, and I was like, just screw it. Right. It took you. Also, too, what I've seen people do, just for future reference, if they see you back there, like that, but sometimes they put like a lab right here.
I'm listening to the guy
Good to know.
fucking give
Well,
excuses
I will
on
amend that,
why he
because
fucked up the
during this
sound.
trial, the jury's going to sit here. Okay, so some a speaker like that, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so how come you guys even have?
Anyway, so yeah, I got that impression that basically she's giving the. I mean, the sound was pretty bad, and it kept cutting in and out. I could be wrong about this, but I maybe I feel like what she told the prosecution to do is to redact certain parts of the document by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Maybe, I don't know. She gave the prosecution something to do by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm not sure exactly what it was. Not that I can't remember. I couldn't fucking hear it. But now the thing is the defense wasn't even there. So I find that pretty telling. The defense didn't even care to be heard on this motion, because even though they're the ones who filed for the motion to be impounded. So I don't think that they have a problem with with this, with the details of this of these findings and all this grand jury testimony being released. But yeah, any personal info should be redacted. Absolutely. And Judge Bev is looking out for that, which I'm glad she is. Because there's times where I wish a judge would do that in order that stuff be redacted before it's released. And so I'm glad she's doing that. Now, let's talk about this pink thing. Okay. So I'm seeing this because I didn't know what the hell people were talking about. And then I see this screen shot of a Facebook thread. Somebody says everyone wear Red Sox gear and chant "Let's go Red Sox." Equals Reed supporter. RS equals Reed supporter. And then Karen Reed posted pink. as a response to that. And then someone said, Karen Reed never give up. Yeah, Cherry does have to sit there and redact it all, and she never does it 100% either. She always misses one or two little things, which is why I have her do it, because if I do it, I'm gonna miss like 1,000. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a coincidence that Auntie Bev was wearing pink in court today. I'm pretty sure it was. I can't imagine Judge Bev saying that she is all about Karen Reed having a fair trial, and then granting a motion that protesters can't be in the within 200 feet of the courthouse protesting because she's afraid it'll affect Karen Reed's chances of a fair trial. And then when Karen Reed posts to wear pink in her support, Judge Bev is wearing pink. I'm calling bullshit on that, folks. Yes, calling bullshit that Judge Bev wore pink deliberately due to that post. If I had to imagine, I'm going to say that this is going to get back to Judge Bev, and Judge Bev is going to go, God damn it, fuck, because Twitter's going to go mad over it, and Facebook groups are going to go mad over it, and so yeah, I'm going on record saying I don't think that it was intentional, but people aren't going to care. People aren't going to care. That was just a big slip up on Judge Bev. It's a bummer. So I had an idea. Do you guys want to drop in on Plevin? See what he has to say?
Crawford of the Young Jerks for unknowing to him lending us his stream, but he had good audio there. So thank you, Mike. We should give credit where it's due. Mike Crawford of Young
What a
Jerks did
dick.
have the stream. So let's give credit where it's due. So really fascinating stuff here. I took notes, so that's what I'm looking at. No, I'm not looking at text messages from the McAlberts or whatever other weird things people want to say.
Yeah, I don't
but
think
I
that
keep a
shit's a
notebook
thing
here.
either.
It's kind of old school, but I take notes. So I'll have to go over and watch this again. And I really can't. I'm hoping
Plevin's wearing pink, y'all. In his hoo-ha. Oh my God, I'm such a child. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking child.
hoping that some of the legal, a lawyer, for instance, lawyer Lee does a good job on these things. If you follow her on YouTube, hopefully she'll take this on tonight. This was really fascinating stuff, but you really need a lawyer to get at it. But it looks like what the Globe had motioned for specifically was the motion they want the motion to dismiss by the defense unsealed, and then they also want the opposition to that motion from the state. So the issue with that is those motions involved federal materials, including federal grand jury testimony, which is normally something that's highly protected. And it was among the different issues here. So there's a protective order that both sides had to sign, that they would not reveal any of the federal material. But everybody seemed to agree that this does not apply to the judge. We have in the United States dual sovereignty. You have the federal system and you have the
What
state
the
system.
fuck are
Each
you
has
talking
their
about
own
right now, dude?
Separate dual sovereignty. It's not necessarily that the feds are always on. This is something that people outside of this country don't understand. So it's not like the feds are automatically above. No, it's just there are areas of the law that the feds are interested in, and that's their sphere. And there are areas that the state is interested, and sometimes those spheres overlap. But there's still dual sovereignty. So within their own systems, if one of them is filing charges
I
or
mean,
indicting or investigating, they have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's probably talking about a part where we had no fucking sound.
Yes, the judge is exempt from the protective order. So, but they still want to try to follow the principle of the rules, and the principle would be the sacredness of grand jury testimony. But there are circumstances in which that becomes less sacred because it's already been revealed in other ways. So let's skip to what the ruling was. Well, so first of all,
I mean, he did take
didn't
notes.
send anybody here. They did send. I don't even think they sent a letter. They basically just sent a note that we're not opposing any of this, and they didn't send anybody. The prosecution sent McLaughlin. She is not opposing it either, although she did feel obliged to oppose any release of grand jury material. But basically, she's not opposing it either. So what can you take from that, right? So neither side seemed to not have anything that really concerned them or worried them or some reason to oppose this stuff. That's really interesting, right? I think the main reason is, I don't know. I'm not sure what it means, actually. I was going to say, I think there's probably no bombshells in either side.
I mean, like I said, it's quite possible that we heard all the bombshells, that the defense dropped all the bombshells that are in that. For all we know, who knows? I mean, it's possible, but no, the Commonwealth was not opposing it. The Commonwealth said that they did not have a position on it.
And we already know that, right? We've already can tell that. But you could also make the case that if you're one side or the other and you oppose the release of this information, maybe you're worried that it makes it look more suspicious that you got something to hide. So I don't know.
Okay.
Especially when the judge is going to rule unless you actually have a valid argument against it anyways. So so the judge has ruled that the defense's motion to dismiss.
I mean, I'm going to give him I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and just let him get through this before.
And then the follow-up opposition by the state is going to be made public, with the exception of they have until tomorrow morning to redact federal grand jury testimony. I'm not even sure if it's all the testimony or just certain relevant testimony.
She specified, dude.
Not sure what they'll go by on that.
I even heard that. She specified personal information, redact people's personal information from the grand jury testimony because it contains people's personal information. That's her problem with it becoming public. So she gave the Commonwealth up until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning to redact that. So yeah, she absolutely specified that. It's not, see, this is an example. Plevin wants to hear that this, like he went into this wanting to hear reasons why the reasons why you would think that the findings don't have anything exculpatory on Karen Reed, that it's a big fat nothing. He wants that to be the case. Going into this, he wanted that to be the case. It's fascinating because here he is. She absolutely specified why she wanted that redacted. And she also specified that she only wanted parts of, at least that's how I understood it, parts of the grand jury testimony that pertain to what was already released to the public. That was already public information, thanks to the defense in their motion when they addressed the motion in court. So
The stuff that we already know to be public, that stuff is what she's saying, okay, well, that's fine. But, the personal information needs to be redacted because there's bystanders here already. That's already an issue. And so, we don't need more people to get, for lack of a better term, depending on what you believe is going on in this case, either harassed or bothered. So there's, she's trying to protect people's privacy, which I respect that. I understand that and I respect it. And I can't tell you how many cases where I wished a judge would order that when releasing information like that to the public. Because every time that happens, I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, look at what happened to Dylan Mortensen. They even tried to redact it by calling it DM, but crime sleuths, a bunch of fucking armchair dickheads sitting at home decided to figure out what DM stood for and connect it to their friends through social media investigations. And then Dylan Mortensen is outed to the whole world and being spun as a suspect of being part of the 4 slayings in Idaho, in Moscow. So, I mean, I was like, fuck. When that happened, you know what I mean? Like that poor girl. So I got to tell you that I support Beverly Cannoni's decision as far as that goes. And saying to redact certain people's information. I think that the important information that we need to know about is already out there. I know enough. I know enough about the McAlberts. I know enough. I think that I mean, everything that Turtle Boy has worked his ass off to do, I think that it has done that. I think that he has exposed so much. So at this point, I know enough about the details of this case and enough about the people surrounding it that I don't need to know anything new unless it comes out at trial that is somehow damning or exculpatory to Karen Reed. So otherwise, I don't need to know innocent bystanders' names if there are any and their personal information. But and there are witnesses in the documents that have not even been mentioned yet. That too. Again, I want Karen Reed to get a fair trial. So we don't know who those witnesses are or what. You know what I mean? So I don't need to know that. That's between the prosecution and the defense. And when this trial starts, everything will be revealed. Okay? Anything that we're not aware of, the time will come where it will be revealed. Make no mistake about that. So I have no actual need for anyone's information in that document. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Plevin's killing me here.
So, but it just says redacting the grand jury material. So that
No,
makes
that's
sense.
what your note
but,
says.
The judge said there are witnesses that have not been mentioned in court that are in this federal material. There are also documents, reports, and things like that were not mentioned. So we don't know. It doesn't sound like. Well, what we're going to get. So we're only going to get the stuff that either side chose to put in their motions. But that's all the important stuff. So we're not going to, so if there's any piece of evidence that tends to show even the possibility of a cover up, obviously the defense is going to include that in their motion. They had a motion and then they had a supplemental motion where they added to it. That's now going to be made public. So
no, it's
will we
not.
get the full report?
No, it's not going to be made public. That's what she said. Only the stuff that pertains to what was already brought up in open court is going to be made public. Only that stuff. And it's going to be heavily redacted. So I wouldn't expect much. I wouldn't expect much, dude.
For instance, according to Alan Jackson, the feds hired an independent accident reconstructionist. And then he gave us his own interpretation of that. And he said that this independent reconstructionist found that John's injuries was inconsistent with the damage to the vehicle.
Now, that stuff we'll know about. We'll get to read that firsthand. We'll get to read how the defense got that, how they interpreted it, and if there's a difference between how it was interpreted by them and what it actually says and how it was put out there to the judge. So that stuff we'll know about. So there is a plus side to this, is we'll get to actually confirm or disconfirm did Alan Jackson stand out there and do a 3-card Monty trick and exaggerate these things and twist them to mean whatever the fuck he wanted them to mean in order to file this insane motion to dismiss? Is that what happened? We'll find out. We'll find out if everything Plevin's been saying for months is factual. That Alan Jackson is a magician, sleight of hand, man. And that's all he did. And that he's a master of words. He's a game show host. That's what he's been saying. Right? Because the odds, the likelihood, come on, man. We'll find out. We're going to find out. And here's the funny thing is, if that were the case, I feel like the defense would have opposed this motion filed by the Boston Globe. They would have had a problem with any of this stuff being released. I mean, if Alan Jackson and David Yannetti were lying and spinning things, I feel like they would have opposed the motion. But they didn't. They weren't even there. They didn't even show up. So
now, I don't think we're going to get the actual report necessarily, but we're going to get a lot more, because what we're going to get is and whatever Alan Jackson and the defense chose to outline in more detail, but then, and very importantly, whatever the state chose to reply about. And that'll give us a lot of insight, right? So if Alan Jackson says essentially what he did, I don't know. It's limited, because the thing is so let's say, so if Alan Jackson made basically the same, if they made the same statement in their motion about the inconsistency of the injuries, it's not necessary that the state had to rebut that. So they may not actually say much.
Today, Junior!
So you may not learn much about that unless the judge, and it doesn't seem like that the judge is going to also have that, whatever report the feds had, that will be included in this. I didn't hear her say anything like that. So that's very disappointing. It's because the state is only going to have to, they didn't have to show that Alan Jackson was lying or distorting or misleading on that. All they had to,
You
those
see where his
motions
mind
were
is?
based on an Odell.
You see where his mind is? Why in the fuck would you think that that's going to be brought up by the Boston Globe at this hearing? That whether or not Alan Jackson and David Yannetti were lying to the court. Why do you think that would even be brought up? It's insane to me that that's even on your mind right now. That has nothing to do with what was discussed in court today. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. The Boston Globe isn't going to argue this. Prosecution isn't even going to argue it. The Boston Globe is filing this motion that the prosecution didn't oppose, and the Boston Globe is basically saying that, well, let's let the public find out, because the Boston Globe doesn't know what's in those findings unless somebody in the DA's office shared it with the Boston Globe, or somebody in the defense's office shared it with the Boston Globe. But, I mean, or on the defense team. But, I mean, you know, but the Boston Globe, as far as we know as much as we do of what are in those findings. So the Boston Globe is simply wanting to find out. That's it. I mean, it's not that hard. They're like, this hearing had absolutely nothing to do with whether or not Jackson and Yannetti were lying. Like, what the hearing was about and what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? They're not even close to each other, bro.
And it was a very specific thing. And what it does is
This
have
guy
to be able to show
is
that the grand
unfucking
jury
believable.
was shown false evidence or evidence was withheld from them in a way that might, in theory, have influenced their vote. So, for instance, 227. The defendant could not say 227. This is evidence that shows, our client was innocent, because Rich Green, the defense analyst, found that evidence a year after the grand jury was shown its evidence using a different version of the software. So it was a difficult hill for them to climb. They had to actually show that somehow the state could have had that result and could have sent it
What
to
the
the
fuck
grand
are you
jury.
talking about?
So that doesn't mean that 227 still couldn't be very exculpatory, but the state did not have to reply to that, because that'll be dealt with in trial. So if the federal, so part of the argument that
oh my god,
that Alan
dude,
Jackson
what is
made was
happening,
that the
bro?
feds had
Like, what is
supposedly found the
happening
same
right now?
thing, that there was a 227 search. But again, the state did not have, the state had in no way had to rebut that. So they may have a rebuttal but they didn't need to put it there, because all they need to do was explain that they could not have produced that result in 2022 because they were using the latest version of the software. So short of having a time machine, they could not have used a 2023 version of that software. So it's really interesting, right? You get into this legal aspect of the case where the state is not holding a trial, through these motions. They're replying to very specific aspects of it. So we may still, even if with the stuff that's going to be released very soon, ordered by the judge, we may still not see until the trial.
We don't
what
make
those
mistakes.
actual reports
We have happy
were
accidents.
by the FBI on 227 or by the independent reconstructionist that they hired on the accident. We may not see that until the trial. I don't think we're actually going to see any of that tomorrow. I don't already come in the coming week, but it was still.
I mean, dude,
I don't know. I really can't wait to hear some lawyers talk about this, because clearly the judge wants this stuff out before the trial. Why?
Why does the judge want the stuff out before the trial? She doesn't want the stuff out before the trial. I'll tell you who does want this shit out before the trial.
And his name is John C.
Fucking A right.
What does she want out? And why does she want it out there? I mean, I think it's fascinating to me, and we're trying to read the tea leaves on this. And of course, I'm just an old bartender, so you may be stuck with me unless you can find, but it's very hard to find anybody that wants to talk about this in any objective way. So hopefully we can find Lawyer Lee. We'll talk on this tonight. So let's see what else we had on this particular thing. So again, the judge does not have to follow the protective order, so she can release federal material. So I'm curious here if she will release anything else, but it sounds like she just wants to release those 2 motions, but there may be a lot of stuff in those motions that could be interesting. The U.S. Attorney's Office, again, had a chance to send someone and chose not to. They did send a letter. So apparently there's a question.
Yeah, Cherry. Sorry,
Tom, I'm just trying to go through my
I
notes.
know Levy responded. I need that response from Levy. If you have that handy. I absolutely meant to read that. Hold on. Man, this Kim Fair lady is a fucking moron, bro. She's nuts, dude. It's super fun to fuck with her on Twitter. She refuses to block me. It's so much fun. Like, she's flat out like admitted that she refuses to block me. It's fucking priceless. I'm just trying to find the Josh Levy response to this motion. All right, hold on. Let me just keep playing
Notes
this
first,
while I
and
do
then I'll
that.
look back at the questions. But I'll glance back and see if I can find. I don't see the question, so you can repost it, Tom, and I'll watch it from your reposting of it. So the U.S. Attorney's Office, amazingly, just they don't want to have to answer any questions in court on this case. The feds can't tell a state what to share. Everybody seemed to agree on that. They talked about, now obviously some testimony has already been exposed. So the main thing is to protect grand jury testimony. But if it's already been revealed in some way, then you're not really protecting him by not necessarily by not releasing it in more detail. So it should be interesting. So I'll just, oh, okay. Let me answer David's questions too. And let's see, Tom, and then Tom didn't ask the question. He asked if he could ask. Okay. So if he's gone, he's gone. David says, so it took us until 2:23 to be able to find the deleted text. Yes. Yes. You have to understand, David, that defense teams, I don't know if you've ever been on a jury. And so I have been on juries. I've got another one coming up in May.
God forbid. Jesus Christ.
And when I remember one of the juries I was on,
God help
they asked
whoever was on trial.
So this was a plaintiff suing a defendant for money. And so the plaintiff brought in a doctor to testify extensively about the supposed injuries and suffering that the plaintiff was experiencing. And so the defendant asked, well, the defendant was able to bring out exactly what this it was a doctor that was brought in to testify, exactly what his
Oh my
employment history
God,
was.
Plevin.
And then over the last several years before that testimony, he was not practicing any medicine.
Dude, so far,
but he testified in numerous.
He hasn't offered any fucking, like, even remotely valuable insight to what took place in that hearing today. I mean, it's real simple. Like, Judge Bev doesn't want to release the findings of the federal investigation. She wants to release only the stuff that pertains to what's already been made public. She told the prosecution to redact private information from it, and that's it. It's by 11 a.m. tomorrow, and then that's it. Like, and then we'll know. We'll see. Like, we'll see Higgins' grand jury testimony. We'll see Brian Albert's grand jury testimony. So we'll see how much is, like, we'll know about the butt dials. We'll see the documentation for the butt dials. See, this is stuff that's real easy to explain, Plevin. Like, I don't understand. Like, and you had sound and I didn't. You took notes, for fuck's sake. Dude, you took notes. Like, it's easy. This is all that is. We're gonna know. We're just gonna know what was already discussed. That's it. Unreal, bro. All right, let's drop in on nope, I don't think that's even happening now. Okay, yeah, that's over with. Yeah, I mean, in summary, I mean, that's it, folks. There's not a whole lot to it. Right. And Benjamin John, we gave him the benefit of the doubt. You, me, Rob Geary, we gave him the benefit of the doubt. It was like, okay, all right, Plevin, right on. And then he just shit the bed. like completely shit the bed. Ended up on some tangent about nothing. Like, it was a real simple hearing. I didn't expect much. I didn't think that she was gonna make those documents public. I would have been like, oh shit, that would have been a bombshell if she would have made everything public just before the trial, because that wouldn't make any sense. If she were to make everything public just before this trial, after she just blocked off and raped everybody of their First Amendment rights to stand in front of the courthouse and express their protests, express their grievances in a peaceful manner. After she makes this decision saying that it's going to affect Karen Reed getting a fair trial, and then she's going to go and release this 3,100 page document to the public for everyone to see just before this trial starts. I feel like that would have been counterproductive. I don't think it's very difficult to come to that conclusion. It's very clear. So I don't think I did not expect Auntie Bev to. I'm a little surprised that she even agreed to release some of it. But you know, I'm glad she did. Like, I'm interested in knowing that stuff. Sure. Give us something to talk about. We'll go over that stuff once it's released. That's I'm definitely interested in Higgins and Albert and Brian Albert's actual testimony in front of the grand jury. I'd love to know what was actually said. I can't wait to find out. But in the meantime, I mean, like, again, it like you couldn't get that from that. Like, that's so crazy that he is that biased, like to that level, that Plevin is that biased to that level, to where he actually ignored the simple facts. And he was like, we're not gonna, I don't know. I don't know what that, I don't know what that means. What do you mean, bro? Like, it's real easy. It's real easy. We're going to know what we already know, just in more detail. In summary, right there. We're going to know what we already know, just in more detail. That's it. That's it. We might know a little more, but not much. Not much. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure. I thought I heard that too. I'm glad you said something, Benjamin John, because I thought I heard that too. I thought that I heard Plevin backpedaling his position on the 227 search. I could be wrong though. Yeah, I mean, it certainly seemed like he was. Man, awesome, guys. I think I'm gonna call it, man. Maybe I'll jump on again a little later. Like, it's pouring rain, and I can't go to the gym. So I have to wait, and so and I can't eat. So I'm trying really hard to not think about eating. So I might just go live just to hang out with you guys and not think about eating. Uh but probably not. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, there wasn't really like a whole lot to unpack there from that hearing, you know. What there is to unpack from that hearing is yet to come. That's probably the best way to put it. Yeah, Cherry's right. Like, I need to not complain about it, you know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, Sarah, wow. Thank you for the Venmo. I appreciate you. Maybe Freedom Speech Press Assembly, maybe. But I am gonna call it now. Guys, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you for all the support, and thank you for hitting the like, and thank you for new subscribers. I hit 25,000 during this stream. So that's pretty cool, man. 25,000 subscribers, man. It's nothing to shake a stick at, you know? It's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot. So thank you guys for being part of this community and supporting me. It means a lot. But I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, folks. I love you guys very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.